but
what he's doing.
Ocho,
I don't like
if you
I
Ocho,
don't like the critiquing of our restaurants and having people and talking bad about our goddamn businesses and like
Ocho,
dude,
Ocho,
you know how
it is,
hard it
and I
is
get it,
for
Ocho,
us to even
Ocho,
get in the food industry and to have
Ocho,
our own restaurant and so like
Ocho.
what are we doing?
Let's talk about it. First, I want to say God bless you and I respect your opinion. Your opinion is just as valuable as the next person's opinion. But I do agree with you. It is hard to open a restaurant. It is hard to get the funding. It is hard to have people come in. I agree. And I'm blessed enough to be a marketing platform for those restaurants completely free. To me, it seems like you have no idea who I am. And again, that's okay with me. The main point was my qualifications. I'll be honest with you. I've been a professional fighter for almost 10 years. I've traveled the world eating food. I've cut weight from anywhere from 170 pounds to 135 pounds. And food is one of the most important things when it comes to cutting weight. So at the end of the day, I'm just a foodie. I agree with you. I've been blessed enough to be in this position. But then in return, I want to ask you, what are your qualifications to have this firm stance on this topic? Because to me, this seems like your first time ever seeing me. And if it's not, again, I have another question. Why is this your first time speaking on me? We've been blessed enough to raise over $40,000 for a restaurant owner who has cancer. We've been blessed enough to be used as a vessel to retire a teacher in less than 24 hours. We've been blessed enough to be a part of keeping multiple restaurants doors open. And all of this within the span of 10 months.
I want to be very clear. That question isn't to say you or anybody else should know who I am. I simply ask, if this isn't your first time seeing me, what stopped you from talking about the positive things we've been able to do? Specifically to the community that you are worried about us negatively affecting.
And to your point, that's without any formal qualifications. And let's be honest, I think one of the main reasons of why we're here is because I'm relatable. I'm a customer like everybody else. I pay for my food like everybody else. I don't take anything from these restaurants. No matter how much business comes from any post I make, I don't take any money. If I was to go to school and get all of the qualifications and start talking in big words that not a lot of people understand, would they still come out and wait in 4-hour lines? I don't believe so. I'm a normal person just like you. So again, you are completely entitled to your opinion, and so am I. And my opinion is that you should have done a lot more research before you made this firm stance, especially on a platform like yours. I don't go anywhere and just give my unsolicited opinion. And you said I should only give positive reviews. The reason I don't believe that it worked because it'd be inauthentic. And hypothetically, if I was to be inauthentic and you waited in a 3-hour wait time and you got to the front and the food was trash, who you gonna be mad at? The restaurant owner or me? Those 600 people who waited in line, they're gonna all make videos and say I'm a fraud, say I lied. And that 4-hour line only gonna be there that one time because everybody gonna say the food is trash.
Simply just to spite me, not even a restaurant themselves.
But if it's a restaurant where the people really put their time and their effort into, that 4-hour wait time is gonna be 4 hours the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
God willingly, of course.
Again, I'm gonna be very clear. I think you are completely entitled to your opinion, just like I am. 99% of my videos have ended. Every restaurant that me and my family go to, we were either A, invited by the restaurant themselves, or B, was told about the restaurant 100 plus times. From locals, from people who mention me, from people who email me, DM me. 99% of the time, I never go to a random restaurant. With that being said, my opinion was asked for. So many narratives being pushed, and it's insane to me. But let's be honest, what else do you want from me? If I go to a bunch of restaurants and have a string of good experiences, then I'm being too nice, I'm lying, the narrative is being pushed that my eye roll is fake, and I'm lying just to help people. Then on the same hand, if I go to 2 or 3 restaurants where I don't have the best experience, now I'm tearing down businesses, now I'm being mean, now I need to shut up, now I need to mind my business, I need to sit down. Again, I can't win for losing. I understand everybody gonna have an opinion on the situation. You can disagree with me, you cannot like what I say. Completely understand, and I'm okay with that. But when my safety and my family safety start coming into play, that's where I draw the line at. But what can't happen is when my family or the restaurants or anybody's safety start coming into play. It's absolutely overboard.
Especially when I was asked to give my opinion. Because you telling me my opinion only matter if it's positive. Because if it's positive, you got my face plastered on the wall and you saying Keith Lee been here. But if it's negative, I need to sit down somewhere and you don't know who I am. That's crazy to me.
It was so much positive that happened in Atlanta that was shunned by the negative. It was so many restaurants we was blessed enough to help. We went to an array of restaurants like we always do at every city. I'm gonna be 100% transparent, 100% candid. Me and my family will postpone touring if other cities gonna be like this. Every review not gonna be the best. I'm gonna be 100% honest. If you want me to come, please understand, I will be honest. I don't mean no harm. I don't have no malicious intent. I mean that, and when I say it, I mean it. People be like, well, you know what you're doing. You know if you give a bad review, people gonna come and flood it with hate comments. What else do you want me to do? I'm telling people not to go and leave hate comments. I'm telling people not to leave negative comments. I'm telling people make their own opinions. You want me to lie and say I had a good experience, or you want me to only post the videos when I have a positive experience? Then all of the videos I post is only gonna be positive experience. Then the narrative gonna be pushed and I'm only trying to be positive, and we're gonna end up in the same situation.
And on top of welcome you guys back on here. If you're new, consider subscribing, liking, and also share this video. Now Keith Lee has come out to put Chad Johnson Ocho back to his place after coming out on him, criticizing him for having made these TikTok videos and of course the reviews he makes about restaurants. Now the TikToker and of course a creator that is Keith Lee has come out and actually defended himself, having received threats based on the reviews he did in a couple of restaurants in Atlanta, where he made negative reviews. In one of the videos, he actually said that when he visited one of the restaurants, he first sent in his family, and of course they had to get food. But to his surprise, when his family reached inside, they were told to wait for an hour. They were told no, they could not get the food immediately. And when Keith actually eventually arrived, the restaurant changed all the customer care they had, and of course they had to give him special treatment, which he personally did not agree with, because it shows these restaurants are actually only serving based on your status. Because they knew he was a celebrity, he was a food reviewer, they had to give him special treatment, which he did not agree with, of course, because he pays for his food in that's what he said. So I said it's very unfortunate that we couldn't we couldn't get food, and we couldn't get proper customer care. And it's really very upset, because these restaurants can only do better after being exposed. So I actually also critiqued the Candy Boris restaurant, and of course what made this whole thing interesting is how Candy actually reacted. She said it's really very unfortunate that we could not serve Keith, but of course we couldn't we couldn't just let him give negative reviews to our restaurants, to our restaurant, and of course it would harm and hurt our customer base. So she defended Keith, and of course defended her own restaurant in an interview she held. But my take on all this is that if you're a restaurant and of course you get a reviewer like Keith, obviously if you get negative reviews, look back, look through your stuff, and of course try and rate the customer care service, because at the end of the day you're not only going to to do things just because a reviewer is around, but of course make sure that you do and give proper service to all customers, because it is the basis of your business.